Clothing store owner Yvette Raphael has lived with HIV for almost a quarter of a century.
Sometimes I don't feel like taking my meds because it is just so tiring.
The 48-year-old activist and fashion designer didn't think she'd still be taking medication so long after being diagnosed. She thought she would be dead.
The rest of my life looked like 5 years, and this is 20 years later because I started treatment the minute I found out I was HIV positive. I also know a lot of people will be affected if I decide not to take treatment and I die because I got sick. So I would feel guilty about that.
For the past 22 years, Yvette has had to take ARVs each day at the same time. The pills keep her alive, but taking them comes with challenges.
It is a struggle. It is getting yourself mentally prepared to take medication for the rest of your life.
People with HIV are up to 8 times more likely to have depression than the rest of the population. And when they're depressed, they're also less likely to stick to their ARVs. Yvette says today there's less mental health support for people with HIV than in the early 2000s.
Initially, we had support groups, the most safest spaces where we could talk about, my husband does not want to use a condom, where people would say, my boyfriend treats me badly. He goes into a next room after us having sex with a condom and he takes a shower.
Yvette sees her shop as a safe space for herself and others.
A lot of advocates come, activists come and chill around this space, come and buy clothes, but that chair that you see there is intentionally made so that you feel comfortable. There's a couch where we can talk about where this fabric comes from, but also how are you? How are you dealing with stuff? How are you dealing with the difficult work that we do in advocacy?
She herself might have given up, if not for her family.
I actually call my husband the treatment police, the ARV police, because he does not forget. Every morning before I open my eyes, my meds are there, and he is such a great support.
Yvette says unemployment and anxiety go hand in hand for people with HIV. Taking lots of sick leave can mean losing your job.
This illness doesn't care. You would go down to get so sick that you are unable to be employable. There's nothing more frustrating than not being able to provide for your kids, not being able to have food so that you can eat and drink medication.
She believes helping people with HIV cope with depression is about more than prescribing antidepressants.
I don't think pills are the answer. I don't. We have to do a little bit more. I don't think we think around enough creating spaces for people living with HIV where they can just talk around the challenges that they are going through.